Soy Martina Soto Pose y para Rock and Pop estuvimos hablando con Richie Faulkner, el guitarrista desde hace más de 15 años de Judas Priest, que vuelven a la Argentina una vez más. Van a estar tocando el 26 de abril en el Master of Rock con Europe, con Scorpions y con muchas bandas más. Esto fue lo que hablamos con Richie para Rock and Pop. Hi Richie, can you hear me well?
I can hear you great. How you doing?
I'm doing great, much better
Fantastic.
now that I'm talking to you.
Awesome.
So this is not your first time here in Argentina.
No, I've been in Argentina many times, both with Priest and before that with Iron Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been a long relationship with Argentina. For me, and obviously the band as well. Priest has been coming to Argentina for many years before I joined, obviously. So Argentina, it's going to be just fabulous.
Richie, is there something special from your previous visits to Argentina that you remember? I hope this question is not uncomfortable. I used to make this question a lot, but I know you travel the world and sometimes you can get confused, like that happened in Argentina or was it Chile?
I remember the last time we were in Argentina, you guys had just got into the was it the semi-finals or the final of the World Cup? That day.
Exactly.
It was the same day that we played that night, and we played the arena that night, and we had Messi on the screens, and everyone was in such a great mood, obviously. I can't remember if it was the semi-finals or the final. I think you got into the final, I think. So, but either way, you'd won the game that day. Everyone was in a positive mood, and it was just a great night for a heavy metal show. So I remember that really well.
Do you enjoy playing sports or making exercise? Because I know you had a heart condition a couple of years ago, and you had to undergo surgery, and you had to make some change in your habits, right? You are eating much more vegetables right now. I think I read in an interview something.
Well, yeah, you have to make. I mean, I think everyone. I'm 45 years old now, so anyone at my age needs to start, doing some kind of exercise and eating your vegetables, But obviously, with what happened to me, there's certain changes I had to make too. So yeah, but I was very lucky, really. They're minimal changes. It's medication and a diet type thing. I just have to remember to do it. That's the hardest thing. So I'm very fortunate that that's all it is, But we try and stay healthy. We try and eat well, and so hopefully we can do it for a lot longer,
Of course, you're going to do that. You told me just right now that you are 45 years old, and you have been playing with Robert and the other guys for almost 15 years. Did you ever get used to being around such an icon as Robert Halford?
Sometimes you do. You kind of get lost in what you're in the job. You're writing, or you're recording, or you're on stage, or we give interviews together. So sometimes you just get your head down and do what you need to do. But sometimes you look back and you think, yeah, that's not Robbo, that's Rob Halford. Sometimes it's Robbo, when it's really informal and we're messing around or we're joking around. And then sometimes that's fucking Rob Halford, So sometimes you do get those times when you realize, I mean, not only him as well, but Ian, Scott and Glenn, obviously, they're all iconic human beings, but then other times they're normal human beings like me and you, and that's a beautiful thing.
Did you always knew that you were going to be some sort of, let's use this term, rock star, or all of this that it's happening to you, the great things that you have achieved in music were a surprise, or you always wanted to be in the place you are right now?
Well, I think definitely I always wanted to be. I think when you're a kid, you're naive enough to think that that's what you're going to do. But you have to be like that. You have to believe that somehow to dedicate yourself to it as much as you need to. Because if you don't dedicate yourself to it, it's harder. So I think when you're young, you have these silly dreams, and that's what I'm going to do. Of course, I'm 8 years old. that's what I'm going to do. But you have no idea. But I think you have to be that focused and that naive, but totally focused on that reality becoming or the dream becoming a reality. And then you kind of realize reality, that it's harder than you think it's going to be. But that's all part of it. You have to go through tough times and good times and educate. It's an education. It's like a school, you know. And then maybe if the planets align and you're fortunate and you're ready and you get an opportunity, and you're ready for the opportunity, but you never know what's around the corner. You never know it's going to be Judas Priest calling you. You'd like it. Your dream is that they do that. You hear stories about that, and that's the dream. But you never think it's going to happen. But sometimes it does. And then the journey from there. You know, I joined the band on the farewell tour, which was going to be the last world tour. And that was 15 years ago. And I'm still talking to you. Priest are still putting out new music. We're still touring the world. And I think the world's a better place for it. But my point is, you never know what's around the corner. You never know how long it's going to go for. I don't think they even knew it was going to last for 50 years. And it's still going. So you never know what the future holds.
Well, now you just said it. Let's talk about the new record, Invincible Shield, which is the 19th, right? Record of Judas Priest, and your third record with the band. Is that correct, Richie? I think it is, right?
Yes, correct.
You started working for this album during the pandemic. That must have been pretty hard, right?
Like everything, there's good parts and there's bad parts to it. So I think so Firepower was released in 2018, and we were already writing material for the next one in 2020, but obviously the pandemic hit, everyone was on lockdown. So the good thing was we had time to work on the songs, to develop the songs, because no one was touring. So we were at home working on the songs. The bad part was we couldn't record it until the lockdowns were lifted. But that gave us time to, sometimes you have songs that aren't quite working, but you had time to work on them to make them what they needed to be. So it was good and bad in a sense. And as soon as the lockdowns were lifted, we figured out a way how we could record the parts around the tours and then get it out. So, but yeah, I mean, every album has a story. You know, when you're recording it, you know, there might be, when you're young, it's usually a financial problem. You can't afford the studio time, but you go in at midnight, so you get a cheaper rate. So it becomes the story of the record. This one, that was the story of the record. It was a challenge to record because of COVID, but that just becomes part of the story. That becomes part of the way the album takes shape. So sometimes you just got to go with it, you know.
I think we are running out of time. I have a lot of questions I have to ask you. I saw you at the Grammys this year. Do you enjoy these kind of events, or?
I don't really. They're not really my cup of tea. But to be there representing heavy metal, representing Judas Priest, and representing new music from a legacy band was a powerful thing. You know, it wasn't a new pop band. It was a band that's been around for 50 years. That, as we said, they're still putting out new music, and that music is getting nominated for Grammys in the metal category. That's an amazing thing to be a part of. So it's an honor to be there in that sense, and hopefully, you know, it sends a message to the world that metal's still strong. It's still a force to be reckoned with, and Judas Priest is at the forefront. So that's a great thing.
Richie, we are gonna see you and the guys the 26th of April at the Masters of Rock with Scorpions, Europe, and many more. And we are really looking forward to watch you on stage. So thank you so much for this conversation. It's been amazing. Richie, see you in a couple of weeks.
See you in a couple of weeks. Thanks for your time. We'll see you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Bye-bye.
Rock and Pop. 40 años.